Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of Earth Defense Station Alpha, watching the stars through the massive viewing window. The station orbited around Luna, Earth's moon, like a giant metal guardian. Jake had been commander of the station for 3 years now, ever since the aliens first made contact with Earth. 10 years had passed since that day. At first, everyone on Earth was excited. Aliens were real, and they wanted to talk. The Zilani Republic sent their ships to Earth with messages of peace and friendship. They shared some technology and promised trade agreements, but Jake never trusted them. Something about the way they looked at humans made his skin crawl. The Zilani were tall, gray creatures with 4 arms and black eyes that seemed to stare right through people. They spoke in perfect English, which they claimed to have learned from Earth's radio signals. But their words always felt cold, like they were reading from a script. Jake noticed how they never asked about human culture or history. They only wanted to know about Earth's defenses and military strength. Admiral Lisa Carter had agreed with Jake's concerns. She was the head of Earth's military forces and one of the smartest people Jake had ever met. Over the past 5 years, she had quietly built up Earth's defenses, new weapons, better ships, stronger shields. Most people on Earth didn't know how much danger they might be in. Lieutenant Amy Foster sat at her console monitoring space around Earth. She was young but sharp, with an eye for details that others missed. Amy had joined Jake's crew 2 years ago, fresh from the military academy. She reminded Jake of himself when he was younger, eager to prove himself and protect his home. "Commander Morrison," Amy called out, her voice tight with worry. "I'm picking up some strange readings on the long-range sensors." Jake walked over to her station. The screen showed dots of light moving toward their solar system. At first, it looked like maybe 20 or 30 ships, but as Amy adjusted the sensors, more dots appeared. Then more. The number kept growing. "How many?" Jake asked, though he was afraid to hear the answer. Amy's fingers flew over her controls. Her face went pale. "Over 200 ships, sir. All of them big. Really big." Jake felt his stomach drop. 200 ships was not a peaceful visit. This was an invasion force. He grabbed his communication device and called Admiral Carter immediately. "Admiral, we have a problem," Jake said when she answered. "The Zilani are coming back and they brought friends." Admiral Carter's voice was calm but serious. "How many ships, Commander?" "Over 200. They'll be here in less than 6 hours. There was silence on the other end for a moment. Then Admiral Carter spoke again. "I'm calling an emergency meeting with all defense commanders. Get your station ready for battle, Jake. This is what we've been preparing for." Jake turned to his crew. They all looked scared but determined. These were good people who had signed up to protect Earth. Now they would have to prove they could do it. "All hands to battle stations," Jake announced over the ship's communication system. "This is not a drill. Prepare for incoming enemy forces." The next few hours passed quickly. Jake watched as Earth's defense fleet moved into position. Captain Ryan Bell commanded the largest group of Earth's warships. He was a brave man with 20 years of military experience. His ships formed a defensive line between Earth and the approaching aliens. Major cities on Earth began moving people into underground shelters. New York, London, Tokyo, and dozens of other cities had built these shelters over the past few years, just in case. Jake hoped they would be enough. Dr. Helen Brooks was in her laboratory deep under the mountains of Colorado. She was the head of Earth's Advanced Physics Division and the smartest scientist on the planet. For years, she had been working on secret projects that even Jake didn't fully understand. She called Jake just as the alien ships entered Earth's solar system. "Commander Morrison, I need you to know something," Dr. Brooks said. "If things go badly today, I have a backup plan. A way to make sure the rest of the galaxy knows what happened here." "What kind of backup plan?" Jake asked. "A quantum communication array. It can send a message to every known alien civilization at the same time. If Earth falls, at least the galaxy will know who did it." The alien ships dropped out of hyperspace near Mars. They were massive, each one larger than Earth's biggest warships. Their hulls were dark metal that seemed to absorb light. Jake had never seen anything so threatening in his life. Captain Bell's voice came over the radio. All ships, this is Bell. The aliens are not responding to our communication attempts. They're moving toward Earth in attack formation. Jake gripped the railing of his command bridge. Amy, are our weapons ready? Yes, sir. All defense platforms are online and ready to fire. The first shots came from the alien ships. Bright beams of energy shot across space toward Earth's defenses. The beams were more powerful than anything Earth had ever seen. When they hit Captain Bell's ships, the results were devastating. 3 of Earth's best warships were destroyed in the first minute of fighting. Return fire, Jake shouted. Earth's weapons shot back at the alien fleet. Some shots hit their targets, but the alien ships had powerful shields. It would take many hits to destroy even one of their ships. The battle raged for 2 hours. Captain Bell fought bravely, but Earth's fleet was outnumbered 10-1. One by one, Earth's ships were destroyed or damaged beyond repair. Jake watched, in horror, as his friends and fellow soldiers died trying to protect their home. Then the aliens turned their weapons on Earth itself. Beams of energy shot down from space, hitting major cities. Jake could see the explosions from his station around the moon. New York's skyline disappeared in a flash of light. London's ancient buildings were turned to ash in seconds. Tokyo's millions of people ran for shelter as their city burned. "Commander," Amy shouted, "Dr. Brooks is activating something. I'm getting a massive energy signature from Colorado." On Earth, deep in her mountain laboratory, Dr. Brooks started her quantum communication array. The machine hummed with power as it prepared to send humanity's message across the galaxy. "This is Earth," she transmitted to every alien civilization, within 1,000 light years. "We are under attack by the Zilani Republic. They came to us as friends, but now they destroy our cities and kill our people. We are fighting back with everything we have. Remember this moment. Remember what the Zilani have done." The message shot out across space faster than light, reaching alien worlds in distant star systems. On 100 different planets, alien leaders received Earth's desperate call for help and witness. But help was far away, and Earth was alone. The Zilani ships moved closer to the planet, preparing to land ground forces. Jake knew that the real fight was just beginning. General Marcus Stone sat in his command bunker 3 miles under the Rocky Mountains. The thick concrete walls shook as another alien bomb exploded somewhere above them. Dust fell from the ceiling, but Marcus didn't move. He was studying maps of every major city on Earth, planning humanity's fight back. The Zilani ground forces had landed 2 days ago. They expected to find a broken people ready to surrender. Instead, they found humans who refused to give up. Every street became a battlefield. Every building became a fortress. The aliens had superior weapons and armor, but they didn't understand how humans fought when their backs were against the wall. Colonel Susan Webb led the resistance in what used to be New York City. She was a tough woman who had served in 3 different wars before the aliens came. Now she moved through the rubble of Manhattan with 50 soldiers hunting alien patrols. Her team used hit-and-run tactics that drove the Zilani crazy. "The aliens fight like robots," Susan reported to General Stone over their secure radio. "They follow the same patterns every time. When we attack from one direction, they always respond the same way. It's like they can't think outside their training." This was valuable information. The Zilani were more advanced, but they were also predictable. Humans could use this weakness against them. In the ruins of London, Captain Alex Morgan was learning the same thing. He had been a Special Forces soldier before the invasion. Now he led a team of 20 fighters through the underground tunnels, beneath the city. They would pop up, attack an alien patrol, then disappear back into the tunnels before the Zilani could respond. "They're strong and their weapons are better than ours," Alex told his team. "But they're slow to adapt. They expect us to fight like they do, standing in lines and following rules. We don't fight like that." Alex's team had captured several alien weapons. The guns were powerful but complex. They only worked for Zilani hands and required special power cells. But Alex's team had found ways to use the power cells in human weapons, making them much more dangerous. Deep in his mountain bunker, Engineer Tony Clark was working on something even more important. He was trying to understand how alien technology worked. Tony had been reverse engineering captured Zilani equipment for months. What he found surprised him. "General Stone," Tony called over the intercom, "you need to see this." Marcus walked into Tony's workshop. The room was filled with alien weapons, armor pieces, and communication devices. Tony stood next to a large alien rifle that he had taken apart completely. "Their technology is incredible," Tony said. "But it's also incredibly rigid. Look at this." He pointed to the inside of the alien weapon. "Every component is designed to work in only one specific way. If you change anything, the whole system fails." "What does that mean for us?" Marcus asked. "It means they can't adapt their equipment like we can. When we modify our weapons, we make them better. When they try to modify theirs, they break. They're trapped by their own advanced technology." This gave Marcus an idea. If the aliens couldn't adapt their technology, maybe humans could find ways to turn that technology against them. Meanwhile, Dr. Helen Brooks was working on something that would change everything. In her laboratory, she had been developing weapons, based on theories that other alien species had dismissed as impossible. While the Zilani used energy weapons and plasma bombs, Helen was working with gravity itself. "The problem with most alien technology," Helen explained to her team, "is that it's based on what they think is possible. But humans have always tried to do impossible things. That's how we learn." Her first prototype was ready. The gravitational pulse weapon could create a small black hole for just a few seconds. It was incredibly dangerous and difficult to control, but it was also something no alien species had ever seen before. Captain Alex Morgan volunteered to test the weapon. His team had been fighting in London for weeks and they were running out of conventional weapons. Alex strapped the prototype to his back and led his team toward a group of Zilani soldiers who were setting up a command post in Trafalgar Square. The aliens never saw it coming. Alex activated the weapon from 200 meters away. A small point of absolute darkness appeared in the middle of the alien formation. For 3 seconds, it pulled everything nearby into itself. Alien soldiers, their vehicles, and their weapons were compressed into nothing. Then the black hole collapsed, leaving only a perfectly round crater where the Zilani command post had been. "It works," Alex reported back to Dr. Brooks. "It actually works." News of the weapon's success spread through the human resistance. For the first time since the invasion began, people started to believe they could win. Colonel Susan Webb used the victory to launch a major attack in New York. Her forces had been hiding in the subway tunnels, waiting for the right moment. Now they emerged from dozens of different locations at once, surrounding a large group of Zilani soldiers. The aliens expected humans to fight with bullets and explosives. Instead, Susan's team used captured alien weapons powered by human ingenuity. They had modified the power cells to overload, turning alien rifles into powerful bombs. The Zilani found themselves outgunned by their own technology. In Chicago, Denver, and Los Angeles, similar battles were taking place. Human forces, led by officers like Major Kevin Price and Captain Lisa Murphy, were proving that humans could adapt faster than any alien species. They used the Zilani's own advantages against them. The aliens had expected a quick victory. They thought humans would surrender after seeing their cities destroyed. Instead, they found themselves fighting an enemy that became more dangerous every day. General Stone coordinated all these battles from his bunker. He watched as his officers reported success after success. The tide was turning, but he knew this was just the beginning. "The Zilani came here thinking we were weak," Marcus told his staff. "They're about to learn that humans are strongest when we're fighting for our survival." Above ground, the battle for Earth continued, but now the aliens were starting to understand that they had made a terrible mistake. Humans didn't just fight with weapons. They fought with their minds, their creativity, and their absolute refusal to surrender. The Zilani had awakened something in humanity that would soon spread across the galaxy. They had turned a peaceful species into a force that would reshape the balance of power among the stars. Ambassador Kate Phillips stood in the Great Hall of the Galactic Council, looking up at hundreds of alien faces staring down at her. She was the only human in a room full of creatures from across the galaxy. Some had tentacles instead of arms. Others looked like giant insects with multiple eyes. A few were just floating balls of energy. But all of them were watching her with curiosity and doubt. Kate had been Earth's representative to the galaxy for 5 years. She was off-world when the Zilani attacked her home planet. Now she was humanity's only voice in the galactic community. The weight of her entire species rested on her shoulders. "Honored council members," Kate began, her voice steady despite her fear. 3 weeks ago, the Zilani Republic launched an unprovoked attack on Earth. They destroyed our cities and killed millions of innocent people. But humanity is not defeated. We are fighting back, and we are winning. A ripple of whispers went through the council chamber. The Vorthon Empire's representative, a creature that looked like a cross between a lizard and a bear, leaned forward with interest. The Vorthons had been fighting the Zilani for decades. They knew how powerful the Zilani military was. "Ambassador Phillips," said the council's speaker, a tall blue being with 4 arms. "The Zilani Republic is one of the strongest military powers in this galaxy. How can a single planet resist their full invasion force?" Kate activated a holographic display that showed images from Earth. The council members watched in silence as they saw human soldiers fighting in the ruins of great cities. They saw Captain Alex Morgan's team using the gravitational weapon to destroy an entire Zilani battalion. They saw Colonel Susan Webb's forces emerging from subway tunnels to surround alien patrols. "This is how," Kate said. "Humans don't just fight with weapons. We fight with our minds, we adapt, we learn, we never give up." On the other side of the galaxy, Supreme Commander Vrex of the Zilani Republic was having his own problems. He stood in his command ship's war room, staring at reports from Earth that made no sense to him. His military advisors looked nervous as they delivered the bad news. "Supreme Commander," said his chief tactical officer, "we have lost 30% of our ground forces. The humans are using tactics we have never encountered before. They attack from underground, from inside buildings, even from the air using primitive flying machines." Vrex slammed his 4 fists on the table. "Impossible. These humans are supposed to be a primitive species. How can they be defeating our trained soldiers?" "Sir," another officer said carefully, "perhaps we should consider withdrawing our forces and trying a different approach." "Never," Vrex roared. "I will not be defeated by these animals. Send more ships, send more soldiers, crush them completely." But Vrex's problems were getting worse every day. Reports kept coming in about human weapons that shouldn't exist. His scientists couldn't understand how humans had developed gravitational technology. The Zilani had been studying physics for thousands of years and had never made such weapons. Work back on Earth, Dr. Helen Brooks was working on something even more incredible. She had moved her laboratory to a new location deep under the ocean floor. Here, she was building the weapon that would end the war and send a message to the entire galaxy. "Tony," she called to engineer Tony Clark, who was helping her with the project. "Are the quantum resonators ready?" Tony nodded, wiping sweat from his forehead. "Ready, Dr. Brooks, but are you sure this will work? We're talking about manipulating space and time itself." "That's exactly what we're doing," Helen replied. "The Zilani think in terms of energy weapons and plasma bombs, but humans have always dreamed of controlling the fundamental forces of the universe. Today, we make that dream real." The weapon Helen was building was based on theories that even Earth's smartest scientists had thought were impossible just 10 years ago. It could create tears in space-time itself, allowing objects to be transported instantly across vast distances. But Helen had found a way to weaponize this technology. Meanwhile, Captain Alex Morgan was preparing for the most dangerous mission of his life. General Marcus Stone had chosen him to lead a small team into the heart of the Zilani occupation zone. Their target was the main Zilani command ship that was hovering above the ruins of Paris. "This is a one-way mission," General Stone told Alex over their secure communication link. "Once you plant Dr. Brooks's new weapon on their flagship, there's no guarantee you'll make it out alive." Alex looked at his team of volunteers. Each one was a veteran of the resistance who had lost family and friends to the alien invasion. They all knew the risks, but they were ready to sacrifice themselves to save their planet. "We understand, General," Alex replied. "Earth is our home. We'll do whatever it takes to protect it." On the Vorthon homeworld, Emperor Kalis was watching the reports from Earth with growing excitement. The Vorthons had been looking for allies in their long war against the Zilani. These humans might be exactly what they needed. "Send a message to our fleet commanders," Emperor Kalis ordered his advisors. "If the humans succeed in defeating the Zilani invasion, we want to be the first to offer them an alliance." Other alien species were also taking notice. The peaceful Androdi Federation had always been neutral in galactic conflicts, but they were impressed by humanity's determination to protect innocent civilians. The warlike Krex Empire, known for respecting only strength, began to see humans as potential equals rather than inferior beings. Back at the Galactic Council, Ambassador Kate Phillips continued her presentation. She showed the council members footage of human cities being rebuilt, even while the fighting continued. She showed them hospitals where human doctors treated wounded soldiers with captured alien medical technology. The Zilani came to Earth expecting easy conquest, Kate said. Instead, they found a species that refuses to be conquered. "We are not asking for your help in this war. We are warning you about what will happen if the Zilani are not stopped." She paused and looked directly at each council member. "If they can attack Earth without consequence, they can attack any world. Today it's humanity. Tomorrow it could be your people." The council chamber fell silent. For the first time, many species realized that the human-Zilani conflict could affect the entire galaxy. If the Zilani succeeded in conquering Earth, they would be emboldened to attack other worlds. But Kate wasn't finished. She activated another holographic display that showed Dr. Brooks's laboratory and the massive weapon being constructed there. "However," Kate continued, "I want you all to understand something important. Humans have developed new technologies during this war. Technologies that could change the balance of power in this galaxy forever. We offer these advances in friendship to those who treat us as equals. But to those who threaten us," she let the implications hang in the air. The council members looked at each other nervously. This small species from a single planet was claiming to have weapons that could challenge the established galactic order. Supreme Commander Vrex received a report about Kate's speech within hours. His intelligence officers had spies throughout the galaxy. The idea that humans might have allies or advanced weapons made him even more determined to crush Earth quickly. "Prepare our reserve fleets," Vrex ordered. "I want every available ship sent to Earth immediately. These humans will be destroyed before they can spread their poison to other species." But as Vrex prepared his final assault, he didn't realize that humanity was preparing something that would shock the entire galaxy. The war for Earth was about to become something much larger than anyone had imagined. Admiral Lisa Carter stood on the bridge of her flagship, the Earth vessel Defiance, watching as humanity's hidden fleet emerged from asteroid fields and moon bases throughout the solar system. For months, her engineers had been building ships in secret locations, using captured Zilani technology combined with human innovations. Now 50 Earth warships surrounded the surprised alien invasion force. "All ships, this is Admiral Carter," she spoke into her communication device. "Today we take back our home. Remember what they did to our cities. Remember our families. Show them what happens when you attack Earth." The Zilani fleet was caught completely off guard. They had expected broken human resistance, not a coordinated counterattack by advanced warships. Supreme Commander Vrex watched in horror from his command ship as human vessels appeared on all sides of his fleet. "How is this possible?" Vrex demanded of his officers. "Where did they get these ships?" His tactical advisor studied the sensor readings with growing alarm. "Sir, these ships are using our own technology, but they've modified it somehow. Their weapons are more powerful than ours, and their shields are adapting to our attacks." "Captain, Alex Morgan and his team had successfully infiltrated the Zilani flagship 3 days earlier. They moved through the ship's corridors like ghosts, avoiding alien patrols while carrying Dr. Helen Brooks's new weapon toward the ship's main reactor. The device was small, about the size of a briefcase, but it contained enough power to tear a hole in space itself. "Are you sure this will work?" asked Sergeant Bill Turner, one of Alex's most trusted soldiers. Dr. Brooks has never been wrong about physics, Alex replied, checking his watch. We have 10 minutes to get to the reactor, and 15 minutes to get off this ship before the weapon activates. Behind them, the sounds of battle grew louder as Admiral Carter's fleet engaged the Zilani forces. Earth ships were outnumbered, but they were faster and more flexible than the alien vessels. Human pilots like Commander Nancy Walsh and Captain Jim Foster used tactics that confused the Zilani, attacking from unexpected angles and using the enemy's own weapons against them. Deep in her underwater laboratory, Dr. Helen Brooks was preparing to activate the most ambitious part of her plan. Over the past 6 months, she had secretly deployed dozens of quantum-entangled weapon platforms throughout Zilani space, using captured alien ships. These platforms had been disguised as space debris, floating undetected near Zilani military bases and fleet positions. General Stone, she called to her communication device, Project Omega is ready. Are you prepared to give the order? General Marcus Stone sat in his command bunker, watching reports from the battle above Earth. His resistance forces had been fighting for weeks, and now they were finally seeing victory within reach. But he knew this moment would change everything, not just for Earth but for the entire galaxy. Dr. Brooks, you're certain this will work without harming innocent civilians? Marcus asked. The platforms are targeted specifically at military installations, Helen confirmed. No civilian areas will be affected, but every Zilani military base, every fleet depot, every weapons factory will be destroyed simultaneously. Captain Alex. Morgan reached the Zilani flagship's reactor room. The chamber was enormous, filled with alien technology that hummed with power. Alex and his team quickly attached Dr. Brooks's space-time weapon to the main reactor core. Weapon is in place, Alex reported over his radio. Beginning evacuation procedures, but as they tried to leave, Zilani security forces discovered them. A fierce battle erupted in the corridors of the flagship. Alex's team fought desperately, knowing that their mission's success meant salvation for Earth. Go! Alex shouted too, his team as alien soldiers surrounded them. I'll hold them off, Sergeant Turner grabbed Alex's arm. We're not leaving you behind, Captain. That's an order, Alex replied, firing his weapon at the approaching Zilani. Get to the escape pods. Tell Earth what we accomplished here. Admiral Carter's fleet was winning the space battle, but the cost was high. Half of Earth's ships had been destroyed or damaged. The Zilani were finally retreating, but they were preparing to fire on Earth's surface one final time. All ships, concentrate fire on the flagship, Carter ordered. We need to stop them before they can bombard the planet. At that moment, Dr. Brooks's weapon activated. The space-time bomb that Alex had planted created a localized gravitational anomaly that consumed the Zilani flagship and half their remaining fleet. The other Zilani ships, seeing their command vessel destroyed, began to retreat in panic. But the real surprise was yet to come. General Stone gave the order that would change galactic history. Dr. Brooks, activate Project Omega. Across Zilani space, dozens of hidden weapon platforms came to life simultaneously. On the Zilani homeworld, military leaders watched in horror as their main fleet base was consumed by a miniature black hole. On their colony worlds, weapons factories and ship construction facilities were destroyed in seconds by gravitational pulses. Lieutenant Amy Foster, now promoted to communications director, began broadcasting Earth's message across all galactic frequencies. Her voice reached every known alien civilization within 1,000 light-years. This is Earth, Amy announced. The Zilani Republic attacked our world without provocation. They killed our people and destroyed our cities. You have now seen our response. We are not your victims. We are your equals, and we have long memories. The message continued, and every word was heard by alien leaders across the galaxy. To all civilizations listening, Earth offers friendship to those who approach us in peace. We will share our knowledge and our technology with those who treat us as equals. Then came the warning that would echo through galactic history. But to any species that would repeat the Zilani's mistake, understand this clearly. We have seeded the galaxy with our weapons. They are hidden, they are waiting, and they are watching. Attack Earth or any of our allies, and you will be erased from existence. Supreme Commander Vrex, barely escaping Earth's solar system in a damaged ship, received reports of the devastation across Zalani space. 90% of his military forces had been destroyed in a single coordinated strike. The Zalani Republic, once a major galactic power, was now defenseless. On the Vorthon homeworld, Emperor Kalis smiled as he watched the reports. These humans had done in one day what his empire had failed to accomplish in decades of warfare. "Send a message to Ambassador Phillips," the Emperor ordered. "Tell her that the Vorthon Empire formally requests a military alliance with Earth." Similar messages were being sent from dozens of other alien civilizations. The Androdi Federation offered trade agreements. The Krex Empire, known for respecting only strength, sent an offer of mutual defense pacts. Even species that had never contacted Earth before were suddenly interested in establishing diplomatic relations. At the Galactic Council, Ambassador Kate Phillips found herself surrounded by alien representatives eager to meet with her. The small species from a single planet had become the most powerful military force in the galaxy overnight. Dr. Helen Brooks received a personal message from scientists across the galaxy, begging to understand how humans had developed such advanced weapons. She smiled as she read the requests. Earth would share its knowledge, but only with those who proved they could be trusted. The war for Earth was over, but humanity's journey as a galactic power was just beginning. 1 year after the Great Battle, Ambassador Kate Phillips walked through the rebuilt streets of New York City. The alien bombardment had destroyed most of Manhattan, but humans had rebuilt it better than before. The new buildings were taller and stronger, designed with both human architecture and alien technology. Children played in parks where alien bombs had once fallen, laughing as they flew small hover cars that used captured Zalani anti-gravity systems. Kate smiled as she watched the children. They would grow up in a galaxy where Earth was respected, where humans were equals among the stars. It had cost them dearly, but humanity had earned its place in the galactic community through strength and determination. The Zalani Republic had formally surrendered 6 months after their defeat. Supreme Commander Vrex, his military destroyed and his empire in ruins, had personally come to Earth to sign the peace treaty. He knelt before General Marcus Stone in the same bunker where humanity's resistance had been planned, admitting that his species had underestimated the humans completely. "We thought you were weak because you were new to the galaxy," Vrex had said during the surrender ceremony. "We learned too late that being new does not mean being weak. Humans fight with a spirit we have never encountered." General Stone, now Earth's Secretary of Defense, had accepted the surrender with dignity. "The Zalani people are not our enemies," he had declared. "Your leaders made a mistake, but your species can learn from it. Earth offers friendship to those who approach us in peace." Admiral Lisa Carter commanded humanity's new interstellar fleet from her flagship, now called the Guardian. Earth had built dozens of advanced warships using the combination of human innovation and captured alien technology. These ships patrolled human space and protected the growing number of human colonies on distant worlds. The first human colony, established on a planet in the former Zalani territory, was thriving under the leadership of Colonel Susan Webb. She had traded her role as an urban warfare specialist for that of a colonial administrator, helping thousands of Earth families start new lives among the stars. "The galaxy is bigger than we ever imagined," Susan reported during her weekly communication with Earth. "There are worlds here perfect for human settlement, and the local alien species are eager to trade with us. They remember what happened to the Zalani and want to be our friends, not our enemies." Dr. Helen Brooks had become the most famous scientist in the galaxy. Alien species from hundreds of worlds sent their best physicists to study at her new research institute, built on the moon. They wanted to understand how humans had developed space-time manipulation technology that their own civilizations had considered impossible. "The secret is not in the technology itself," Helen explained to a group of alien scientists during one of her lectures. "The secret is in how humans think. We don't accept that something is impossible just because it's never been done before. We keep trying until we make it work." Her research institute was developing new technologies that benefited the entire galaxy. Medical devices that could heal injuries in minutes, transportation systems that could move ships faster than any previous method, and communication systems that allowed instant contact across thousands of light years. Captain Alex Morgan had survived his mission on the Zilani flagship, though he carried scars from the battle. He now commanded humanity's first diplomatic vessel, traveling to distant worlds to establish peaceful relations with alien species that had never encountered humans before. Every week we meet new civilizations, Alex reported from his ship, the Peacemaker. Most of them have heard about Earth's victory over the Zilani. They approach us with respect, sometimes even fear. But when they see that we come in peace, they welcome us as equals. The Vorthan Empire had become humanity's closest ally. Emperor Kalis visited Earth regularly, fascinated by human culture and military tactics. The two species had signed a mutual defense agreement and were jointly exploring new regions of the galaxy. Humans are unlike any species we have encountered, Emperor Kalis told the Galactic Council during one of his speeches. They combine the wisdom of an ancient civilization with the energy of a young one. They are natural explorers and natural warriors, but they choose peace when peace is possible. Engineer Tony Clark had been promoted to head of Earth's Technological Development Division. His teams were reverse engineering alien technology from dozens of different species, always finding ways to improve it with human innovation. The weapons and tools they created were sought after by military forces across the galaxy. But the most important change was in how other species viewed humanity. The Krex Empire, known for their warrior culture, had offered to train human soldiers in their advanced combat techniques. The peaceful Androdi Federation sought human advice on defending their worlds from aggressive neighbors. Even species that had been enemies for centuries asked Earth to mediate their conflicts. Lieutenant Amy Foster, now a full admiral in charge of galactic communications, monitored the messages that flowed between hundreds of worlds every day. The communications network that Dr. Brooks had built during the war now served the entire galaxy, with Earth at its center. Every day we receive requests for help, for trade, for friendship, Amy reported to the Earth Council. Species that have been isolated for thousands of years are reaching out to join the galactic community. They see what Earth has accomplished and want to be part of it. The Galactic Council had officially recognized Earth as a major power and given humanity a permanent seat among the ruling species. Ambassador Kate Phillips now led a delegation of 50 humans representing Earth's interests in galactic politics. The old galactic order, dominated by ancient species who feared change, was being replaced by a new system that valued innovation and cooperation. Earth's example had shown that a young species could rise quickly if it combined determination with intelligence. But humanity never forgot the price of their success. In every human city, monuments honored those who had died defending Earth. Captain Alex Morgan's original team, who had sacrificed themselves to plant the weapon on the Zilani flagship, were remembered as heroes who saved not just Earth, but changed the galaxy forever. Jake Morrison, now Admiral Morrison, stood on the bridge of humanity's newest and most powerful warship. As reports arrived of successful diplomatic missions and peaceful first contacts with 3 more alien species, he thought about how far humanity had come in just 1 year. Earth's final warning still echoed across the stars, not as a threat, but as a promise. Humanity would defend itself and its allies with the same determination it had shown in defending its homeworld. The galaxy was safer because Earth had proven that peace was possible when backed by the strength to fight for what mattered. Children playing in New York's rebuilt parks would grow up in a universe where humans were respected, where Earth's voice carried weight in galactic decisions, and where the name of humanity was spoken with admiration across 1,000 worlds. The species that had once faced extinction had become the galaxy's protectors, ensuring that no other world would suffer as Earth had suffered. Humanity had earned its place among the stars not through conquest, but through the courage to stand up when it mattered most.